let's cover installing Inkscape and the one piece that we customize in there, which is the OPCD palette. You're going to learn more about the palette later on. Don't need to tell you about that quite yet. So first thing you need to do is go into Inkscape. Well, not Inkscape, the website. So inkscape.org. And if you go to that main page, it should, under here in the download, you can just go to current stable version. This is really straightforward. You're just going to download the MSI Windows installer. And let's see, it should start in 2 seconds. Oh, there it goes. It looks like it's 141 megs. You're going to download that, and then you're going to open up the installer. Oh, looks like I got it working here. Welcome to the Inkscape setup. Really simple. It's going to ask you where you want to install it. I personally like my D drive, but just remember where you put this. Okay, so the default is C, Program Files, Inkscape. If you change it someplace else, let me know, because you're going to need to know that here in a second. Okay, I already have it installed, so I'm just going to cancel out of this. Let's see, I canceled out. Now, the next thing you need to do is remember the registration email that I said do not lose. Yes, you need to go back to that. And remember, there was this Inkscape palette link in here. This is specific to the OPCD tools. And remember, you agreed not to use this for commercial use. So you're going to click on that, and you will then, this will take you to a Google Drive share, and you're just going to click download and download the OPCD palette that you see here. Once you have that palette, let's see here. Let's see. I'm going to open up a couple windows here for you guys can see everything at once. So I downloaded it here to my downloads folder, and you can see here is the OPCD palette. I actually did it twice. So here's the first one I downloaded right here. In this directory over here. So remember when we said, remember where you installed it? Well, you need to go to where you installed it, so which is D for me, Program Files, Inkscape. Then within there, there's a Share folder, then another Inkscape folder, and then a Palettes folder. So that is where I'm at now. You're going to take this GPL, this palette, and you're going to dump it into there. Now, I already have it in there, so I'm not going to replace it. But that's where you need to place that palettes folder. Okay, so place it in that directory, and I'm going to pause and bring up Inkscape. Okay, so I opened up Inkscape now, and the palette would normally show up down here. So the first time, we just need to open up the OPCD palette. So we're going to come down, and you can see these 3 lines down here in the lower right. This is called a hamburger. So you click those 3 lines, and now all the palettes that are loaded get shown here. And there's going to be one called OPCD V4. So right here, we're going to highlight that one, and then it shows up here. Now, yours might not be the full screen that mine is. I like to have it so I can see all the colors really easily, but I can also go down here and I can say configure, and I can say stretch to fill. So yours might look like this when you first open up, and maybe you prefer this, have it small, but I like to stretch to fill. You can also do things like change the border sizes and all that stuff, and you can play with this if you want. Number of rows, I wouldn't touch everything else. Text size, whatever. But that's it. Now your Inkscape is pretty much installed and ready to rock and roll in the subsequent videos.